We are back. We're gonna make a nice vinaigrette. I call it Tbs Vinaigrette. My grandma showed me how to make it. This is pretty kind of French country style vinaigrette. It's got some garlic, some shallot, lots of white wine or champagne vinegar, a little bit of honey, a little bit of Dijon, which adds flavor and helps emulsify the whole thing, and then lots and lots of olive oil. So we're going to start the prep. First thing we're going to do is dice a shallot. I have a small shallot here. What you do with shallot is just cut off this end here. We don't need that. Maybe trim the root a little bit. And then I just kind of like that. And just pull that outer guy off. All right, that is pretty much exactly the texture. So drop that in a bowl. One big clove. You might do 2 smaller cloves. We're just gonna bat it like that with the flat end of your knife. Oh, and it breaks the skin and pretty good, not bad. All we're gonna do here, microplane grater, one of my best friends. And we're just gonna grate the garlic. And we want it fine because it'll be more of a punchy flavor, but also allow the acid of the vinegar to help mellow it out, because we're gonna let it hang out before we add a lot of the other ingredients. So just like that, there we go, clove of garlic, we're good. So we need about 1/8 of the cup, which is 2 tablespoons of champagne or white wine vinegar. And you wanna add this first to your shallots and garlic. Reason for that is these are pretty abrasive flavors, so it gives them an opportunity to mellow out a little bit, which is always good. Probably about a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, which sounds like a lot. It is a lot, that's okay. Coarse ground fresh black pepper. So I don't need much, right? Maybe a 1/2 teaspoon at the most. And then Dijon mustard. It's not gonna be the star of the show. It's just really to help add a little bit of flavor, but more importantly, emulsification. So probably about 1/2 teaspoon of that as well. Guys, let's talk olive oil real quick. These are 2 types of olive oil. This is a California Everyday, which is California grown olives. Very, very good quality olive oil. What I look for is harvest date within about 12 months of when I'm going to consume it. This one shows December 2019 as the harvest date. So this is probably was bottled within the last 60 days. So for this guy, we want to use about 1/2 cup of olive oil. So we'll use quite a bit of that, but then we also want to punch it up with some flavor. So this is another producer. They're local from California as well. Here we go. So we'll measure out about 1/2 cup, and then we'll top up with the really, really good stuff. All right, so now it's time to marry the 2 things. We got our shallots that have been soaking in vinegar, and garlic and shallots soaking in vinegar, salt, pepper, a little bit of honey for sweetness, and Dijon for flavor, but also emulsification property. We got our 1/2 cup of olive oil, and we're just gonna use a whisk here. Start slow. Just gonna kind of dribble it on. Now my grandma would just mix all this stuff up in like a small mason jar or old jam jar that's been cleaned and shake it. That's cool, and you can do that too. I just find that it incorporates a little bit more elegantly when I use a whisk. So I start here in a bowl, and then I'll move it into a jar for storage later. And this will keep a week, maybe 2 in your fridge, because again, it's a little bit more acid forward. A lot of times the olive oil will seize up, so you might want to take it out, let it come up to room temp for about 30 minutes before you use it if you're storing it. So this is going to make a lot of vinaigrette. So you got about 2/3 of the olive oil incorporated, so I'm just going to taste it real quick and see if I like it. And I do, I'm actually really good with that. So we'll just reserve that extra olive oil for a rainy day. If anything, I'm actually gonna vinegar this up a little bit more. So just a few more splashes of champagne vinegar. And there we go, that's Gma's Country Vinaigrette.
I really like this with just like a slice of bread.
Oh, it's good on anything.
Can I have the spoon? I'm gonna try it.
Let me rinse off. Best practices for COVID, even around home. There you go.
That's really good.
Yeah, it's like creamy but acidic.
All right, thanks for watching, everyone.